my issue with Demon Slayer comes from me considering it quality mid, while a whole bunch of other people have it up here. That's where my issue with Demon Slayer comes in. I think it's a solid show. I've watched it. I read the whole manga and enjoyed it. So it's not like I'm a true hater of the show. My hate comes from it being one of the most overhyped shows in the world. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of season 2 of Life with Anime podcast, where you come to be entertained, find some escape and relief, and where we talk about the impact that anime has on our lives. We are your hosts, Family Man Joe
and Mr. Music Major.
What's up, guys? P, you good? How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. It's the first episode of the season.
This is crazy.
What?
It's crazy. We back, y'all.
Bruh.
I know we didn't really leave because we were still posting stuff, making content. You know, you saw all the drafts and the yada yada, all the nonsense, and us peeing going at it. But we back. We back,
By the way,
P.
some of y'all's takes was crazy, but we saw all of it.
Some of y'all, including you. You want to include yourself into some of y'all?
Let me tell you something. Like, backstory, real quick. When I tell y'all, I was so mad at Joe over that fantasy draft.
Oh
Joe
my
picked
gosh.
Yu Yu Hakusho
For the
like
90s?
y'all will, for the 90s. Y'all will never know.
Yeah, because
How
you stole Pokemon.
upset, and
You stole
that is why
Pokemon.
I did it.
You wouldn't have had Pokemon on your list.
Never would have had it.
That was
But when
mine.
Joe put it, I was like, yeah, give me that.
Crazy. But man, we back. Season 2. The hiatus is over. Season happened. Life happened for P. Happened for me.
Yeah.
It was just weird. It was a weird time. But we're back, so we don't really care about all that. And we'll be here. The plan. Here's the plan, and it will be executed. We about to have a whole bunch of guests on here. A whole bunch of guests. We got stuff scheduled already. We're gonna be ready to go.
Y'all have
This
no
is
idea.
this is obviously pre-recorded a little bit, but we got people coming. Okay. We did every other week last time. This time we're doing every week, so you can get more content, more frequent content. That means different reels coming, more reels coming. It's just gonna be we trying to take it up a notch. We was here.
Listen,
Came in. I feel like we did good to start, you know what I'm saying? But we
Nah.
trying to, you know what I'm saying? We try to be on the household name level of Shonen Showdown,
we trying
Anime
to be.
Sundays, Tracy Allen, SS Blaze, Nike Finesse, you know what I'm saying?
I was about to
You
say
name them,
you.
Tony Weaver. We try to be on all that.
You giving their
Gotta hate
handles.
them podcast.
I was finna give government names.
Oh, I ain't gonna do all that.
So I'll leave it alone. But that's where we trying to be, yo.
If I didn't mention you, I promise you we love you. It ain't no. I'm just. Those are the people I give crap for all the time for being big time. So Frankie, with your talk show.
Ooh, Frankie.
Frankie, we love you, Frankie. We love you, Frankie. All the hate you get, you don't deserve it.
Absolutely.
We love you, Frankie. Especially the Full Metal Alchemist post she been making lately. I don't know if you've seen those, P.
I have not.
Oh, she been making some posts about
No,
Full
no,
Metal
no, no.
Alchemist.
I did see something to where she was talking about Shao Tucker and how it's the government's fault
Yes,
and
yeah.
not Shao
She
Tucker.
did a whole. She did a couple of them. She talked about Ed. She talked about Roy.
Frankie.
Yeah, I like it. But anyway, episode 1, we here. This episode, special shout out. Before we get into this, please, I have to do my due diligence with
Yes.
this. I don't like doing it, but we're gonna do it anyway, just cause we need to do it.
We're gonna do
Just a
this.
little, just a little call to action. Take you about 5 seconds. If you are watching us on YouTube, we appreciate you very, very much. Go ahead, like the episode, leave a nice little comment, react to it, whatever you gotta do. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, so every week on Friday you can see our new episodes. If you are listening on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, RSS feed, whatever it is, make sure you leave us a nice little 5-star rating, nice little comment, talk about us. If you want to hate on us too with the 5-star rating, hey, look, go ahead. Hate on
We'll
these
take it.
takes, hate on my takes, whatever it is,
Take
whatever you want to do. I threw myself in there too. I didn't direct it at you. Hate on my takes as well. That's cool. Mid Slayer, whatever.
Yo, crazy. I will piggyback off of Joe
But
before he starts like talking crazy.
But just make sure, we would greatly appreciate it. It would help the podcast a lot. We got some goals we're trying to hit, and I would greatly appreciate if you guys could help us do that. So,
Again,
Please
Mid Slayer is crazy. We
say
definitely
what I
know
said.
that's not a mid anime, but also like we have an Instagram, we have a TikTok, maybe a Twitter.
Man, I've been on Twitter back. I just been looking at Twitter for like 2 days,
Ooh,
and I'm
Twitter
just
been
like,
crazy.
I ain't trying to be on Twitter. But if y'all want us on Twitter, let us know. Hit me up, hit P up, hit the podcast page up on
Absolutely.
Instagram. If y'all want to see us on Twitter, I will make a Twitter page. I can't
But I
promise how
will
frequent
say,
on there,
definitely
but
Instagram, definitely TikTok. Hit us up. Like we are on there. We
for
are
sure, for sure,
active.
for sure.
So hit us up on there.
YouTube Shorts, whatever, we there.
Yeah, we gonna get there.
Now
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that's out the way, now that we got that nonsense out the way, let's start the episode officially. The topic for today, as I did stutter, the topic for today. What? What? Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. I don't know. Anyway,
Anyway,
Lil Mo. Okay. Anyway.
topic for today is actually I want to give a shout out before I announce it. I want to give a shout out to some teammates of mine, Mr. Jack Gibbons, Dr. Gibby, Professor Gibby, Chance Campbell, the Chancellor himself. Got some teammates of mine who have been asking for an episode where we give introduction anime for people who've never watched anime before, somewhere to get them started. And so this is thanks to them. So that's what we do in this episode. So that's what we're doing. We're going to talk about some anime that we would recommend or that we, the people, would recommend for newcomers to watch. And so, how we gathered what anime we talk about, obviously, me and P have our recommendations we would give. We've given some, I feel like, before. If you know, new to anime, you asked us, so I've given plenty. I'm sure P has given plenty. But what we
Absolutely.
did is, if you followed us on Instagram in the past, you would have seen some stories. Hopefully, you saw the stories. If not, you know, IG algorithm, whatever, posted a story basically giving the premise of you have a friend that asks you that's never watched anime before, and they ask you for three recommendations, and they'll watch all three shows. But if they don't mess with it after watching three shows, they will never touch anime ever again. So basically, you got put in the hot seat. Like, hey, yo, give me your three fire shows that you know would get me hooked. That also would keep their attention. Because otherwise, we lose a warrior in the anime community. So yeah, pretty much just ask people. You gotta give me your three. It's only three. You can't give me two. Don't give me one. Don't give me five. You limit it to three. So a bunch of people responded. We compiled a list, ranked them or whatever. So we'll talk about the top ranked ones. Give shout outs to the honorable mentions, the people that mentioned. But
Which, by the way, let me just say, some of the stuff that y'all recommended. Why would y'all do that to a new anime watcher?
listen, bro. I,
But then
I mean
again,
that's their friend. If they yeah, that's the people they.
and
I don't know.
I will say then again, and we'll get to talking about it later. But like Kev on stage, absolutely broke it for me.
Hey, hey, hold on. Let's just take a moment of silence to appreciate the greatness that is going on right now with Mr. Kev on stage. Let's just take a moment. Because that mess is crazy, bro. Absolutely
Bruh.
insane. This man went from AOT to Death Note to Full Metal Alchemist
The Full
Brotherhood.
Metal Alchemist.
Had to take a break because of the whole Shao Tucker situation. That's a lot. That's a lot. Now I don't know how much it is really based on the AOT and Death Note stuff, but for him it was a lot. I respect it.
Took a
He
break.
says he's gonna finish it. This man, Pete, why don't you talk about what this man picked up? Go ahead, because I know you
Dude
more hype about it than I am. Go ahead.
Dude picks up One Piece, and here's the crazy part. Like we hear so many, like not even so many, but the one thing we hear about One Piece is that it is entirely too long for somebody to start picking up.
Which
And
it is.
Kev on stage is like, hey, bruh, I'm on tour. I'm on flights for 3 and 5 hours at a time. These episodes are only 22 minutes. He legit said, do you know how many episodes I can get through in a flight? Because I don't like to go to sleep when I'm on flights. So more than likely, I'm up and I'm watching. So dude decided to take on One Piece. And let me tell you what is like the mind-blowing thing to me, because even with One Piece fans, we will all agree that animation from the get go is crappy.
I don't know about
Oh
crappy.
no!
I
Oh,
don't know
it's
about crappy.
bad.
It's
It's bad.
older. It's
It
older.
is. It's in 1999.
It
I
ain't
get it.
crappy. It's
But
older.
let me tell you something. I would take Yu Yu Hakusho's anime, which
I
is
mean,
1994,
I mean, you know,
over One Piece, which is 1999.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I
It's
guess I give grace where grace is due. It's an older anime.
it is.
We talking about Madden 5 versus Madden whatever
Oh,
24 that
that's
we got
different,
going. You
Joe.
know what
We
I'm saying?
talking
Like
graphic. That's a little bit
I'm
different.
just saying the animation, the
It's a
graphic
little different.
quality, whatever. Like we know where we came from, and we are now where we're here now. We see Wano, we see all this, we see. I almost said it. I'm gonna
You see
respect it.
how long it took.
We
You
see
see how long
Demon
it took us
Slayer.
to get to Wano.
I'm just saying, but we here, we
And I
here,
get that,
we
but I
here.
will say to say all of that, and he's watching. But here's the mind blowing thing: he is watching as a new anime watcher, and
A new anime. This is his fourth
we're
anime.
talking his
It's his
fourth
fourth
anime,
anime,
and we're talking about like One Piece animation in 1999. Again, what
and he
new
rocking with
anime
Luffy, and
watcher
he
would do
rocking
that?
with
Number
Luffy.
one, don't get ahead of me, Joe. But number two, like he is rocking with this. He likes Luffy as a character, bruh. We made a video about like so if y'all don't know, Kev on stage is a very religious man, and there are a lot of things that you can get out of One Piece that will help your everyday life. He legit said how Luffy pretty much doesn't have like he when he starts out he doesn't have a crew, he doesn't have like a ship, he doesn't have a lot of things. And I thought in my mind, hey yo, not to get religious, but like
We men of
how
God
many
around here.
times, and I hate to say it, but how many times do we not have what we need, but God will always provide what we need? When
Who
I
you
tell
telling?
you,
Who you telling?
Kev on stage is fin to take that to astronomical levels watching One
I
Piece,
hope so, bro. I hope so.
bruh.
I hope so.
And he is enjoying One Piece, like he enjoys it. He legit says like Luffy is an enjoyable character. He's funny. He says whatever he wants to say, regardless of who is around, who's watching. Bruh,
All
Kev
right.
on
All right,
stage.
all right. Before this turns into a Shonen Showdown video where all we talk about is Luffy and One Piece, okay? We love you, Rob. Before it does that, um, let's get to our topic.
Yeah.
Actually, real quick, I want to give flowers to one more person. The lady herself who got Kev on stage to watch One Piece, Miss Crystal.
Miss Crystal.
We greatly
Yes,
appreciate you.
ma'am.
You know, you constantly taking dubs. We love to see it. We love to see it. We love to see
By
it.
the way, met you like 2 or 3 years ago at DreamCon. You have been like the same person you are now you were 3 years back. Cool, dope, personable, enjoyable. Shouts out to you, Crystal.
Give her flowers. All right. To
Absolutely.
the topic at hand now. Number one piece. Well, I mean, we could bring it up a little bit, but to the topic at hand. Yeah. Again, the starter anime. Again, shout out to my teammates that recommended it. P, do we want to talk about first some anime that we would not recommend?
Okay.
I know we just went on the whole Kev on stage rant. Again, shout out to Crystal for getting Kev to watch it.
Big shouts out.
However,
He is an anomaly.
that is an anomaly. It is a show that I definitely would not recommend to an anime watcher.
Absolutely not. And while
Honestly,
we're at
yeah,
it,
go ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna say, honestly, any of the big three is not one.
Boom. I was
I
finna say the same
may
thing.
the only caveat to that is I may do Thousand Year Blood War, and the only reason for that is the newness of it. It is not its own thing, but at this point, 8 years out, it is kind of its own thing. And so like you're missing context, but I feel like you have enough. I feel like you have enough. In my
Do
opinion,
you though?
I wouldn't actually recommend it. But if someone said to me, "Hey, I would recommend specifically Thousand Year Blood War," that might be like I might give you that. I
So
might give you that. But that's like the only thing with the big three that I would give.
so for me, I wouldn't recommend Bleach at all. I just feel like one, like you said, there's too much backstory to like pick that up from the Thousand Year Blood War arc. What I've always asked, especially for new anime watchers, is what do you like regardless of like whether you like fighting stuff, whether you
Yeah.
like action stuff, whether you like adventure, whether you like comedy, whether you like suspense and thriller, like
Some
what do you
romance.
like?
Yeah.
Romance. And what I've always learned is that 9 times out of 10, if you don't watch anime, you will always be you will always be into suspense and thriller. So those are the two
We
that
may
I
disagree on that.
always will try to recommend.
We may disagree on that. But I
Hey,
get you.
no, no,
I
say
think this
why.
is
Say why you disagree. I would
I
love to hear it.
I know some folks that aren't big on the suspense thrills, and I think the thing with suspense and thrillers in non-anime than with anime, obviously it could be a lot more gory. There could be a lot more to it. I mean, not that the anime can't be gory. I mean, we got Solo leveling out right now with all kinds of gore.
I would have
Man,
never thought.
we
I would have
I
never
love it.
thought.
I'm so happy they did.
I love it, but I would have never thought.
Yeah, I'm so happy they did.
Anyway,
But there's that. There's a lot of that. I think of, dang, what's the dang thriller Saw. I think of the Saw movies. I think of
but I feel like that's more horror than
but
like
Saw.
thriller
Nah,
or
Saw not horror, bro.
suspense.
Saw can't be.
I mean, it's gore. It's
Is
gore.
is gory, but I mean, I guess just in general, I feel like thrillers in non-anime tend to be a little bit more. They can, not always, but tend to be a little bit more gory. So it's different. So I mean, I guess, like you said, each person is different. So I guess to kind of go what you were saying, like, depending on the person you're talking to, depending on what they already like to watch, that will lead you and guide you into what to recommend them. Hopefully, assuming you are a diverse anime watcher, which I can now say I am.
You are, bro, bro. We
I
gonna
now
be
am.
later in like episodes. We finna get into like
Yeah, we'll
what
get into
Joe
it.
has been
We'll get into it.
watching,
Hey,
and
listen,
we
I'm on my stuff. I'm on my
that
stuff this
man,
year.
that man is watching romance, y'all. But no, no. Just to piggyback off that just a little bit, like for me, I don't think people like will watch like if you look at like what people watch and what is hot, like we're talking like, and I don't know if you know about these shows, but like How to Get Away with Murder was like
Yeah,
really popular.
yeah.
You
What's
look
the
at
zombie movie?
something,
What's the
yeah,
show?
you
I
look
mean,
at yeah, you look at something like oh man,
Walking
what's my
Dead.
boy's
Walking
name?
Dead.
Walking Dead. Sheldon. What's even if we're just like
Yeah. What's,
looking
what's
at
the drug show? Is that what you're talking
Breaking
about?
Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Or even if we're talking just like slice of life stuff, like what's my boy's name? Sheldon.
Oh,
Big
Big
Bang
Bang Theory.
Theory. Yeah, if we're
But
talking
that's
about
also the
stuff
slice of like
like that,
comedy. That's yeah,
but
comedy
that's what
aspect
I'm
to it.
saying. Like, so I don't
Friends.
necessarily, and that's why I say like, if we're like putting somebody who's never watched anime into an anime setting, 9 times out of 10, real TV is not going to be fantasy, or it's not going to
For
be
sure.
adventure,
For
or it's
sure.
not going to be like a fighting shonen. Like, I would want to give them something that they are used to in real life and what they would actually watch. And what people actually watch is like legit what we named. It's the
Yeah.
suspense, it's the thriller, it's the slice of
Yeah.
life type of stuff.
I will say this too, and my wife will be happy for this one, and the fact that I remember the acronym and the name, she'll be happy. But obviously, I know ladies lately. I mean, I'm sure they've always been, but in your books, you know what I'm saying? Ladies been into their books a lot lately. Discovering that my wife, I mean, she's always been a Harry Potter fan, somewhat of a Lord of the Rings fan. So there's that fantasy aspect. But your books lately, she's been into this book series, a couple of different book series, but one that I know has been populated is called Akatar, which is a crown of thorn and roses. There's a little smut in there, but from what I understand, it's a very popular book series that a lot of ladies, I don't know, I'm sure some men are also reading these books. But I've discovered more and more of my wife's fantasy. It's got elves, it's got fairies, it's got I forgot fae in there. It's got dragons and all this other stuff. Right. So I'm like, I got all kinds of stuff that you want to watch if you into that. But I feel like with that, knowing that, especially with again, I'm specifically talking about ladies right now, but I'm sure there's some men that also read those books. But I feel like the fantasy aspect, I feel like now knowing that about a lot of the women, I'm sure that opens up a lot more because I'm not just worried. Now, mind you, it needs some romance. There's the
Joe,
romance aspect. You gotta have the
I
romance aspect. But yeah,
I I will again. I've said piggyback a lot, but I will piggyback off that too. So, one of my coworkers, shout out to you, Cora. But
that must
Cora,
be
like,
a inside thing.
absolutely, like, she has like anime, not anime, but fantasy, like elves and witches and warlocks and all of that stuff
Yep.
she's into. And I was like, but she doesn't like anime. She says she wants to like read, like if it's an anime, she wants to read it and not
The
watch it.
night, like the light novel.
I was like, Cora, I have so many light novels that you would absolutely enjoy because, like, you're telling me, like, these are the books that you like. And when I'm telling you that anime or necessarily like the light novels, bro,
The
you
the
would
the
be
types of
over
stories.
heels for this.
Yeah, the stories, the in-depth story that you get from an anime or light novel is
So I
is
get, yeah.
is up there. So
So
I feel,
I get
yeah,
that.
I feel like that allows to touch into the more fantasy adventure side of things. Obviously, again, you got to throw the romance in there. My wife even
And
we tried to watch some stuff, and she's like, "Is there anime the romance in there?" I'm like, I mean, yeah, it ain't the focus, but it's in there. She's like, I guess I'll try and watch it.
and again, and maybe I'm like, and I also forget, like, but if we're watching like things like Game of Thrones or like the
Yep.
prequel to Game of Thrones, I forgot the name.
House of Drag or
House of yeah, is it House of Dragon?
I don't know, some dragon,
But if
something.
we're like looking at those, like I understand like why, like because those are actual fantasies, but like people actually enjoy those types of shows. So
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure. All right, let's get into this list that that people gave us. We could. I will. I'm gonna say the non. Basically, I took a tally vote of all the anime that was recommended, and I kept count of how many people recommended it. And so what I'll do is I'll list the ones that weren't recommended very highly. We'll focus on the top 5 or 6. And we could talk about those why we think that's a good idea or not
Sure.
on a personal basis. But then I'll make sure at least to mention everything so that everyone feels like their voice was heard. Okay. So I have to read this. So I'll go. Oh, so sad that this didn't officially make it. I feel like we could talk about it, but I won't. I won't force it. I won't force it. The first one that's not in green. P is the one I'm talking about. My
What you got?
you can't see them up there. All right, so I'll start from the bottom. Which is funny. What's up? Shout out to my boy Southside Supply. He recommended the big three.
Why would you do that, Southside?
Oh man, I love it. I get it. I know people who go Dragon Ball Z is the go to that they recommend as well, but we disagree. All love.
Absolutely.
Shout
Too
out to the
many
homie.
episodes.
It's just too much going on. A lot going on, but it is what it is. Shout out to the homie Brandon, who told all y'all stop watching anime and read the manga. Said don't watch, read. We are firm believers in reading as well, but we also enjoy watching, and I know Brandon watches as well. So one that I haven't heard. So these are now getting to the actual shows. Nanatsu no Taizai.
Which
Taizai.
is literally seven deadly sins.
Okay, so there's one vote for that.
I
Vinland
will
Saga. Oh, go
say,
ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
real
Go ahead.
quick, seven deadly sins. That is one of the ones that I recommended to my coworker. Like, I feel like if you like fantasy and you like love and you like romance, crazy
Love.
how that love is, because that is weird.
We're gonna call that love. I guess it
I mean,
turns
he was.
out love. Turns
It
out to
turned
be
out, but
love.
like when Elizabeth was born,
Yeah,
and
we don't.
Meliodas was like,
Yeah, we're
"Hey,
done. We're done. We're done.
crazy,"
We're done.
but all right.
Next, with these are with one votes. We got Vinland Saga, Classroom of the Elite, which I love. Classroom of the Elite season 3 has been fire. 1, 2, and 3 have been fire. You
I
need to
would
watch it.
recommend. I feel like Classroom Elite
It's up there. Yeah, especially with your
it's something I
suspense kind of
recommend.
thing
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
something I would recommend.
Not really thriller, but yeah, definitely some suspenseful stuff, some deep, lot of pay attention to details kind of thing to catch everything.
Yeah,
Maid Sama, never seen it, got one. Licorice Recoil got one.
I wouldn't
SAO got
recommend
one.
any one of those.
SAO I could see being a recommendation, especially for some gamers.
Why?
If you got some gamers, season one, be like, hey yo, focus on season 1 and see if you like it from there. Season one
I
for sure.
understand. I
Season one is
understand.
goated. Like I know I say it'll get some hate,
Goaded. Wait.
bro. It,
Let's
it
use our
started a whole.
words.
It started a whole wave of isekai, bro. We got all these isekai because of Sao.
Goaded.
We got a whole wave of isekai over the past however many years because of what show?
Oh.
One show,
Oh.
Sao.
Oh. We would
Don't do
disagree.
this, P.
We would disagree. But all
Regardless of
right.
what you the impact that Sao has had on
Come on,
anime.
Impact.
Yeah, Life with Anime podcast, where we talk about the impact that anime has on our lives, the impact that SAO has had on the anime community, on the whole entire genre itself, has now imploded, like just completely
I
grown
feel
out of
like there were some
proportion.
isekais before that
No,
had
there
like
were for
a
sure. There's some. I mean, Pete,
bigger
we did the
impact.
isekai. If you want to check out our favorite isekais, go ahead and go on Instagram.
Do it.
Check out our
Good
drafts for
plug.
isekai list. Of course,
Yes,
bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying.
sir.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying. You go to the thumbnails, you'll see the title at the bottom, where which one we're talking about. But yeah, it's not. I didn't have it in my top five. Maybe I did. I think I did end up having it in my top five.
No, it
I
was up
did.
there.
I did. It
Yeah,
was up in my
it
top
was
five
there.
for me.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
yeah. But
Very
I
nearly
listen,
was.
bro. I think even despite my bias on how much I actually enjoy the show, it has done a bunch. Again, not to discredit any other anime before, any other isekai before, but this isekai has done a lot. That's not what we're here to talk about,
Okay.
but that's just facts. Kuroko's no
Facts.
Kuroko's no backsit. Got one for the athlete. For the athlete. For the
It's
athlete.
very hard, and I get that, but it's very hard, even for an athlete. For me, anyway, I'm not an athlete, of course, but I feel like it's very
You a
hard
track star? What you
for.
talking about? We can run episodes back. You a track star? You
Hey
dusted me,
yo,
right?
I mean, hey yo, Joe, you don't want these problems.
Still waiting for the. I'm still waiting for the footage.
But anyway, why
Four,
does Joe
four,
continuously
five,
do that? Why does he do that?
four point
Like
four
I'm not even finna
five
like sit here and
40.
play with. I'm not
Just
even
saying.
finna sit here and play with Joe. Like I'm an
State
average
champ
guy.
in
Like
track.
yes, I
Just
talk
saying.
a lot of junk, but I'm not even finna sit here and play with Joe. Like I could beat him.
Genetics. My father was a hurdler at
Oh well,
Purdue. Let's
bull
not. Let's
crap.
not.
Then
Let's not do
let's
this.
talk about my. Oh, if we want to do that, then let's talk about my mom. Before bless her heart, she fell
Bless her
in
heart.
love. Had
Love
a
that lady.
full ride to
Love that
college.
lady.
Let's talk about
Hey, shout out to
my.
Mama.
Yeah, my mom was a long
I ain't know
distance
that.
runner. Yeah,
How I ain't know that? Oh, long distance?
yeah, she had
Oh, she had that
a
endurance. Okay,
full ride, and
that's
she
what's up.
fell in love and got it.
And here
And
come
I,
Preston.
it won't me. It won't me. It was my brother. It was my brother.
Oh,
It
okay,
was
big bro.
my
My bad,
brother.
big bro.
But even then, like my aunt, my other also aunt who got a scholarship to run track as well. Like we do run
Okay,
track.
okay. So it just skips some. It just skips some
Rashawn, who
folk.
you always
It
see,
just skips some
like
folk. Got it.
oh, it absolutely skipped. I'm not even finna sit here and lie to you.
Okay, glad
Like
you finally admit that.
when I tried it out, I was like, oh no, oh no,
All right.
music.
Next, Magi, which I love, great show. I could see that being a recommendation. It's
I
not a popular
couldn't.
one, but I could see it. I could see it.
I
No,
can't.
no.
No.
I'm gonna skip this one because it was my recommendation, and I was the only one to recommend it, so I'll skip it
You
because I'm,
don't
I'm
want
gonna
to
talk about it.
recommend it.
I'm gonna talk about it. It's fine. We'll talk about it. Another one that got one is Mashal.
We're not gonna talk about it right now.
No, not right now. We personally are gonna talk about our own
Okay,
list,
got you.
separate from what the rest of the
Got
community
you.
did. Yeah, yeah.
I actually would agree with you.
Hey, okay, it's not in your three though, so
It's not
that's
in
the
my
thing.
three, but
That's
I
the
can
thing.
understand
Yeah,
why.
I appreciate that. Mashal got one.
Absolutely.
This one, which I feel like you would also recommend if it didn't screw it up and actually followed the manga and didn't do some dumb nonsense. Promise Neverland got one.
This was probably going to be in my three.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's not. Well, then there we go. I guess we'll find out officially. Promise Neverland got one. Someone recommended One Piece. Kev on stage. We'll just leave it at that.
Anomaly.
Mob Psycho got one.
Also would have been
I
like
could see that. I could see that. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. These are again just the honorable mentions that got low votes. Kotaro Lives Alone. Never seen it.
oh, Joe, you gotta see Kotaro.
Is it a slice of life-ish?
Maybe
Okay, well that's
two or
why.
three
Because I'm
years
just new. I'm
ago.
just new to that.
So maybe 2 or 3 years ago, it was Kotaro versus what's my girl's name from SpyXFamily?
Oh, not Tanya. And
Anya.
Anya. I was thinking
So
Tanya the Evil.
it was her, Anya, and Bolgi were like
Oh,
the
Boji.
yeah,
Okay,
those were like the three little ones that everybody would always say, like, if you had to pick, which one would you take?
got you. Okay. Well, maybe I'll
So
have to
yeah, that
check
was
that
a
out.
big thing back
Now
in
that I
those days.
watch and have enjoyed some Slice, I've seen some Slice of Life in the past. Let me not say that, but lately I've been on my stuff, and
You have.
I might have to go back and check that out. My plate is a little full right now. I'm still behind. Um, Next is Kids on the Slope. Shout out my boy, my uncle David, my nephew. Sorry, my nephew
David,
David.
David
David's a
recommended
big
that,
kids. Yeah. Oh,
bro.
he's
Let
been
me
telling me
tell
to watch
you,
Kids on the Slope for years.
this is
Still
why,
haven't watched it
like,
yet.
we gonna have to get him on the show.
Oh no, we gonna get
'Cause
David on for sure. We
Kids
definitely
on
getting
the
David on for
Slope
sure.
is absolutely something I would
He
recommend.
was me and him grew up together. So we've watched tons of anime together, played tons of video game together. So we got similar tastes, but we're also different people. So
Yeah.
next, these got 2 votes. Next is Akame got Kill.
You miss Code Geass.
I did miss Code Geass. Code Geass got 1. I apologize, Code Goat. I probably not, but I mean,
You wouldn't.
the mental aspect of it. If we got
The
some mentalists,
mech. The mech is why I wouldn't. Yes, it is a good
yeah, I can see
story.
that.
Yes,
I can see that.
it's a great story, but
Unless
like
you
when you
unless you're
start
dealing with
putting,
a Lego head, you know what I'm saying? And
and
maybe
I
you could
get
do
that,
that.
but like if you're talking about a non-anime watcher, like we're talking machines and mech,
Yeah,
no.
no, for sure. Okay, so then after that, they got 2. That Code Geass got 1. Akame got killed with 2 votes. Shout out to these ain't the people that voted, but shout out to Justin Simmons and Mr. Sua Cravens. Oh no, Sua don't like. I think Sua don't like it, but Jay love Akame got killed.
Stop, stop,
Absolutely love
stop,
Akame got killed.
stop, stop.
You already had y'all beef about it. I'm pretty sure. So
We talk no, we ain't talking about a comic got killed.
oh man.
Justin Sims like a comic got killed. A comic got killed is one of the worst anime for me.
And next one that got 2 is next one that got 2, which I could back up is Assassination Classroom.
I could
I could
get
see that.
why. Yeah, I
Huh?
could get why.
Yeah, I
I
get
could
why.
get why. Yeah.
Again, based on people you're talking to. Now this
This
one.
next one I don't understand.
Where is it? Where
Joe,
is it?
Joe,
Where
if
is it?
you're not being biased,
Where is it? I'll bring him
do
out.
I even have anything? By the way, do you see my Anya figurines up there,
Dude,
bro?
I see your Anya. I see your Anya figurines.
I don't think I have anything. Hunter, Hunter. No, I don't.
That show right there. That show right there. Hunter X Hunter. Don't judge us on whether we pronounce the X or not. Whatever you want to do. Hunter X Hunter.
But would you
Got 3
put
votes.
that
Got three
as a
votes.
first?
No.
I just wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. I love the show. I think it's definitely a progress. Once I know that you're in the anime, this is where now I give you my top anime, because my top anime are not ones that I would give any. One of them is.
Absolutely.
One of them is. One of them
I
is.
wouldn't give you Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho
You
is my
you
number one,
you. I'm not giving.
and One Piece is my number two. I wouldn't give
One
any
Piece I'm
one of
not giving.
those.
I guess 2 of my top I would give, and we'll get into that.
Parasite, I would give.
Of course you would.
Parasite, I would
All
give.
right, so now that we got to the honorable mentions again, R.I.P. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see these or not, but
All right,
Bisky over there too. R.I.P. to Hunter X Hunter. Almost made the list, but now
all right.
the top. I went with 6 because
And
I went
half
with
of these
6.
shouldn't be up here either.
I know you disagree on one of these, but I don't understand why. But I guess we'll see. Erased got 4 votes.
I agree.
I know you agree with that one. I also agree.
100%.
It's a great show. What is it? 9 episodes, P? Was it nine,
Nine
10 episodes?
episodes. 9 episodes.
It does a lot in 9 episodes, and it does a great job in that short period of time.
The only thing,
Go ahead.
and I don't even like, because it's not their fault, and you have to wrap it up if you're gonna do 9 episodes. But again, by episode 6 or 7, like, okay, we know who it is now. But again,
Yeah.
it's only 9 episodes.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean
it
that's
has
that's
to
that's
wrap
literally
things up quickly.
it's the finale. It's basically
So
approaching
yeah,
the
it's the
finale.
finale. But yeah, no, Erased, absolutely, for a first time anime watcher, yeah, it's up there.
I know, and I know we'll disagree with this because we had a little previous talk about it. My only issue with the race. The story wise, great. Characters, great. Plot, great. All of like, wrap it up with a nice little bow. Great show. My only issue is that it's 9 episodes. I personally would like to give my whoever I'm recommending a little bit more. I'm thinking a 12 piece at minimum. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 12 piece at minimum. I just am. Like I want to, because I know how I am. Even non-anime shows, right? Even non-anime shows. And I guess I had to ask other non-anime watchers, but I didn't. But I guess it's me. Like I want, once I'm hooked, especially a show as good as Erased. Once I'm hooked, I want more. Like I want to keep going. And then maybe I know we've talked about how as us anime watchers, we don't like endings.
We don't
We
know
never know how to
how.
end a show. We never know
We
how to
don't.
accept that something has ended. And
Absolutely.
1,000% I'm with you. Like every time some story ends, I'm like, bro, but what happens after that? Give me more.
Yeah. But
And then when they
it,
give us more, it's trash.
and when
But
when I say that's why like it's not in my top three recommendations, but Free Run would absolutely be in like top 10
oh,
for
for
me.
sure.
Because
Free run
it
is,
gives
bro,
you
especially
like the
now.
after. Like
Yeah.
we know what happened before, but what happens after?
That's honestly what I love about Free Run so much, is that it is
Absolutely.
the after story. It is the, okay,
Absolutely.
now it's the now what happens story.
Now that we got peace, now that there might be some fractions of people who don't agree with the peace, how do we deal with those? But
Yeah.
overall, like, how do I deal with the fact that, like, I defeated the Demon King and
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do with my life right
For
now?
sure. For sure. Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness. Let me do that. But yeah, so there's that. But yeah, with the race, that's just like my one hang up. I think it's a really good show. Again, without trying to give stuff away, I think the characters are great. I think
Yep.
how the execution is great. These next two got 5 votes. Again, Erase got 4. SpyXFamily. What you think about that, P? I feel like this might be one that you don't want up there.
Actually, I
You
would put
do?
Spy X Family up there.
Okay.
If I'm just thinking for a non-anime watcher, how many spy movies have we seen that people like? Number one. But again, how many wholesome things that like people will just watch? And that's why I say when I get into like the Sheldons of the world and like the Big Bang theories and like all of these things that are just very wholesome and funny to watch, and you mix that with like spy activity,
Yeah.
who doesn't like spy stuff? Who doesn't like wholesome, funny stuff? You mix that together,
Some mean people, some nasty, dirty folks.
absolutely. But everybody else, like I don't see why you wouldn't recommend this. And I'm not saying that all slice of life should be recommended, but like this is something that absolutely I would recommend to anybody. Again, because if I'm looking, let's just say my mom. Something like Spy X Family is something I feel like I could give to her, and she, because my mom loves like action thriller, but she also loves like Hallmark movies where
Yeah.
it's just like lovey-dovey type stuff.
That's just some
And I
mom
feel
stuff.
like this is like the best of both worlds, and I feel
No, for
like
sure.
something like that she would love. So I would recommend this.
Okay, cool. I would too, actually. And kind of to go off, to piggyback, that's your word today. So to piggyback off of what you were saying too, you were mentioning how like slice of life, you would, not that you would recommend every slice of life, but that's probably a general good direction to go. My thing is, I mean, and that's just personal. I'm getting into slice of life now, but I feel like a lot of slice of life can be conceived as boring. This is one that I know for sure. This doesn't fit into that category
I
at
get that.
all. At all. There's the explosions that keep you like, yo, what's going on? There's the cuteness of it, the wholesomeness of it, where this family is trying to grow and figure out things together, but also like got their secrets going on. Again, we dealing with spies, and then also the comedy aspect of it.
Yeah.
Anya is hilarious.
Anya is
Yor is hilarious.
hilarious.
Like
Your is hilarious too. Yeah,
they're all
absolutely.
hilarious, and I haven't watched the newest season.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I haven't watched the newest season, but even from season one, like this is a show that I'm happy that it made this high on the list of people recommending it. So,
Let me tell you something really quickly. I am just waiting, and I know this is like side subject. I am waiting for when all of them find out
oh,
what everybody can do and how they maneuver
I'm sure it'll
from
happen.
there.
I'm sure it'll happen.
It's a
I feel like
manga,
there's
so
gonna be
I'm
like a
already. I feel like it's happened. I'm not sure.
it's gonna be a light like we'll do the cartoons like I'm gonna try maybe I got edit this in there. Try to ching ching like the little light bulb moment. Everything's like, oh, all that makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, no,
Everything
absolutely,
makes sense that happened.
absolutely.
But yeah, so I like I said, I think that was a good recommendation. I approve that recommendation. Stamp of approval
Yeah.
from Life with MA podcast. Next one, I'm gonna let you say its name before I slander it, and I know you're gonna slander it
Oh
too.
my
But I'm gonna let you
God.
say its name before I slander it.
Let's. Okay, so I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna let Joe go for it. Demon Slayer. Go, Joe. Go.
We disagree. I think it. I call it Mid Slayer, and let me preface this
You
because
would recommend this?
let me preface this. One, we have talked about, you have mentioned, and I have to do a better job of understanding quality mid.
First of all, before you move on, shout out to O for quality mid. Shout
Yeah.
out to Brandon for
Yes.
quality mid. But
Yes.
I do believe O coined the term, at least for me, quality mid.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, O.
Demon Slayer. My issue with Demon Slayer comes from it me considering it quality mid, while a whole bunch of other people have it up here. That's where my issue with Demon Slayer comes in. I think it's a solid show. I've watched it. I read the whole manga and enjoyed it. So it's not like I'm a true hater of the show. My hate comes from it being one of the most overhyped shows in the world. Now, mind you, I understand
So
why.
your hate comes from fans?
I understand why it is overhyped. I understand it is popular because of the pandemic and anime watchers, which we welcome you. We welcome you
We welcome you
to the
though. That's
community.
not
We
Joe,
appreciate
cut
it.
it.
I don't have
Cut
any
it.
hate towards the new
Cut it.
watchers. I have some things, some issues, but I don't have any hate to the new watchers. But my basis on it is because so many new watchers, this was their first anime, and we see how popular it is. We see how popular it is. We see how popular it is. The eye catching. It is. The animation is phenomenal.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go with the BS.
If
But
you
okay.
watched our, that's a nice little back to our episode. Not I guess not our episode, but we did a review of all 2023 anime that we watched.
Oh,
And P had a whole issue with me saying the
oh,
word
I had.
phenomenal. But the animation for Demon Slayer is what, P?
Okay, so let's be for real because they saved their budget for the battle. Like again,
Listen,
Demon Slayer as a whole is really good with animation. Yeah, really good.
yes,
But battle scenes,
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Okay, glad we understand that. Phenomenal. So not only do you have this show that, according to some folks, like Preston, it has a good story,
I
good
never.
care,
Ooh, you are
Yes,
putting
you
words in
did.
my mouth. You are
It
putting
has
words in
it
my
has
mouth.
characters that people seem to love for
You
whatever
made me
reason.
hit this daggone mic. You putting words in my mouth.
The
I'll
one
let you
thing
finish.
the one thing that I give it is the animation, and what I add to
The
that,
only
why I
thing you
think
give it.
the one thing that I think I said I enjoyed the story. The one thing
Joe, this is the first time I have ever heard you say you enjoyed the
sorry,
story. This is
let me
the first time ever.
it's a decent story.
Yeah, let's go back and back.
It's a
Yeah,
quality mid story.
I'll let you go. Go
It's
ahead.
a quality anyway, I'm not here to bash on Demon Slayer again.
Because we finna go into a whole nother
Yeah, let's
tangent
not do
of
that.
Demon
We're not
Slayer.
here for that.
But I will say my piece. Go ahead though.
The fact that it has honestly tested the time of new anime watchers and has held it this long, and the fact that people have it as their number one anime over a whole plethora of anime that they have now seen, I'm like, I'd recommend it. I don't see why people wouldn't.
All that bashing
It's
and you
not
would
in my
recommend
three
it.
that I would do. Listen, hey, I don't know if this video is gonna be out by the time this episode is seen, but if you don't already, follow Shonen Showdown, Mr. Rob himself. Check out his YouTube page. We did a little competition video. I had Tanjiro, and
Is it out?
It's not. I don't know if it'll be out at the time this is
Okay.
posted. It ain't out right now. We're recording it. We'll see what happens. I'm
Oh,
not
let me
sure.
tell y'all something.
If it ain't,
When
it
it
ain't.
airs, oh, we're gonna have a conversation
Yeah, we'll
about
talk about it. We
it.
gonna
We're gonna
react
have a
to
conversation.
we gonna react to it for sure. But I had Tanjiro, and the fact that it ended the way it ended, we just gonna leave it at that. The fact that it did what it did. Matter of fact,
Nope,
yeah,
we'll just leave it at that.
yeah, we'll just leave it at that. The fact that whatever happened is crazy. But yeah, Demon Slayer,
All right, real quick.
I makes sense to me. It's
Just
not in
just
my three.
just a couple of things. It's not in my
It's
three now.
always
I
it's
have to go
always
back and
just a couple of
revisit my three
things.
now. Yeah,
I just
because
have a
you be
few things to say.
tripping.
Just a
Of
couple of things. It's
yeah, because
always
how many few
that's your
things
things.
did you say? I just find it really crazy
There's another one. There's another Preston
that
thing.
for I just find it really crazy that nobody talks about Naruto. Now what Demon Slayer
Talks
is
about
for
who?
this gen.
Talks about
Nope,
who?
I cannot
I just
comprehend.
didn't hear the name that you said. I
I
want
will
you.
say it in a minute.
Okay.
What Demon Slayer is for this generation, Naruto is what it was for Joe's generation.
Thousand
Because
percent.
Joe is still a little younger than
Whoa,
most.
whoa, 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 whoa. And
Don't
by the
don't you
time
don't
this
want to
comes
you
out,
don't want to be you
I'm
don't want to be
30.
old. No, yeah,
I'm
but you don't want
30.
to be old.
I ain't 30 right now, but by the time you'll see this, I'm
You
30.
will be. Oh man, February, you will
Happy
be.
belated birthday to you, boy.
So I just find it really crazy because let's again, Naruto, like if we strip down anime to its most basic form.
So we're about to hit on Naruto now. That's what we're
I'm
doing.
not hating on
We're
Naruto.
about to rip apart Naruto. We was talking about Demon
I'm
Slayer.
not ripping apart
How we get
Naruto,
to Naruto?
but is Demon Slayer not what Naruto is for this generation? Yes or no?
I mean, yeah, I can see that. I can say that.
At one point in time, I really wanted to get into
Naruto's
My
got a
Hero
better story.
Academia, but absolutely
Naruto's
not.
got a much better story though.
Does it though? And I think that is like my biggest issue.
According
Does
to
it?
Joe Jones and his thoughts and opinions, according to Family Man
Joe,
Joe,
really quickly,
Naruto has a better story.
Joe, strip down to its bare basic.
I'm not doing that right now. That's not what we're talking about.
What is Naruto's like? What is the storyline?
Preston, we understand that you would not recommend
The
Naruto.
storyline, don't worry, you won't say it, so
So,
I will. The
like, can
storyline
we
of Naruto
get him,
is
Blaze?
is for Naruto to become
You
Hokage,
can't even
whatever. Can't even say
Hokage.
it. Hokage, he's a hoe. So it's to become.
Wow!
I'm kidding. I mean, with Hinata and Sasuke, I mean, and
Stop!
Sakura, yeah, it's kind of
Stop!
crazy. Three-way is crazy. Um, but the basic story is for him to become a Hokage. Like that's the basic story.
Become Hokage. Yes.
Basic story. Like everybody wants to say like it's nuanced and it's not. Like that's his dream. Like
Okay,
that's the
that's the
story
goal.
premise.
Fool, that ain't the
That
story.
that's the story.
That's
Oh,
the end
but
goal.
that is what I am trying to get y'all to realize
Okay,
with
okay, okay, okay. You ready? What One Piece is your number two? The whole story is about Luffy trying to become the king of the pirates.
I mean
Same ish.
basically.
Same ish.
Basically.
Okay,
And
Naruto
even
basically,
with Demon Slayer,
but
it's for
yet
him to
we
avenge his sister. Like if we strip these shows to the basic core principle, it really ain't a lot of difference
so
between a
are
lot
you
of
now hating
shows.
on One Piece? So we putting
Oh,
One Piece
I am
down?
not hitting on One Piece.
So I don't understand what you're trying to say, P. What
No,
point are you
what
trying
I'm
to
saying,
make?
first of all, I can't believe you threw One Piece in this. Like, let's not do
Because
that.
because of how you're saying it.
No, all I am saying is if we're talking about like again, I'm just talking about generational like what it is for what it is. We're not like leaving One Piece out. We all agree that
Why we gotta leave One Piece out?
Because Demon Slayer for this generation, no, One Piece has been in our like that's not nothing new. That's not nothing. But we're
Neither is
talking
Naruto.
about something. We're
You
talking
talked about
about
Naruto, so I brought in One Piece. It's the
okay,
same thing. They got the same dream.
it's not the same. But it's not the same thing. We're talking about anime that like brought a different generation into anime watching. One
Okay.
Piece didn't do that. Demon Slayer did, and Naruto did. What I
Facts.
am saying that there is not too much for everybody to say like I like the storyline better, bro. There is not too much nuance to the storyline. Naruto wants to become a Kage, and Tanjiro wants to avenge his sister. Like nothing is like really just like sticks out like Attack on Titan to say, hey yo, this storyline is crazy. Both of them have a very generic storyline. So I just always have an issue for when people say that like I don't like Demon Slayer storyline. Honestly, Naruto's storyline ain't that like he wants to become a Kage. And he does. End of story. Demon Slayer, he wants to avenge his sister and save his sister from being a. We will cut that out. But
We
I'm
don't know.
saying
We
that,
don't know what Tanjiro accomplishes yet,
but oh, we don't. But what I'm saying is that there is
unless you
no
read the
difference.
manga.
There is
Then you
no
know.
difference in gold. There is a goal that one wants to achieve, and either they will or they won't. And so I think that's like my biggest thing when it comes to yeah, I brought Naruto in. Yeah, whatever. But I feel like that is always like the conversation. Anyway, would I recommend it? I don't think I would recommend it. I
Okay.
feel like it's too like slashy. Like I don't know. For me, I don't know anybody in my circle who would be like Demon Slayer. Got it. For a non-anime watcher. Yes, the storyline is good. Yes, there is yes, the storyline is I would say good. Yeah, yeah, there is like, you know, family oriented stuff and other things going on. That's what makes a story nuanced. Is that there are other things, and I think that's what we forget about Demon Slayer, but we give Naruto the same grace. Because Naruto has a very anyway.
You just went back on what you said before
I
that the story
did.
wasn't
I
that the story
did.
wasn't nuanced, and now all of a sudden it is more nuanced
I
than
did.
Naruto. You got yeah.
And maybe what I will
Back,
say is
y'all.
that I don't.
Preston's back.
And I'll even double dip. I don't think people think that Demon Slayer is as nuanced as Naruto. Maybe that's what I want to say. I want to say that people just say that this is the storyline and this is the storyline, and Demon Slayer is worse than Naruto, and Naruto is better, but both have a very nuanced storyline. Like, yes, there is like your main subject of like, I want to do this and I want to do this, but there are different ways of getting it there. That is the issue that I have with people who say that Demon Slayer's story is just very simplistic. No, it's still nuanced. There are ways that you have to go about to getting your dream, just like with Naruto. There are ways that you have to go about getting your dream. Either way, neither here nor there. I wouldn't recommend Demon Slayer. I think it's too shonen-y. I think it's the storyline is cool, but I don't know if a lot of people. Yeah, I know. And honestly, let me tell you what it is. It's this book that I got this on
You're fine.
that's killing me.
I was trying to be discreet, but Preston said, "And I'll leave it in here." I told Preston to stop hitting the dang table because he's shaking his damn camera. But we're gonna leave that in there. All right, we had talked
But
about
anyway,
Mid Slayer enough. Um,
God, we didn't win 15 minutes off it. We are never bringing up Demon Slayer
Attack,
again.
Attack on Titan got 5 votes. Go ahead, P. You go first. I went first about Mid Slayer.
Really quickly, Attack on Titan, I would recommend it. I think it's enough. Yes, it's crazy fantasy stuff with a titans and shifting and all of that stuff,
Mechs,
but
they're mechs,
they're meat mechs.
meat mechs.
Absolutely.
Oh, what's my boy's name? I'm blanking on his name. That made that video about the Attack on Titan is basically a mecha anime. Oh, he was on.
I've seen quite a few people like say
Dang,
it's
bro,
a.
I'm so sorry. I'm blanking on your name right now. I really am sorry, but I'm gonna go ahead and
He's
put a
gonna
little
remember it, and we're
clip.
gonna plug it
I'm
in.
gonna put a little clip in there for it. But he basically made a video talking about it being meat mechs.
But yeah, no. But I do believe it's like enough real world stuff for people who don't watch anime to grasp. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of like suspense. There's a lot of thriller. There's murder. There's like whatever you're looking for in anime or in just like a TV show.
Show in general, yeah,
You get an Attack on Titan. So I would
yeah.
recommend.
I think it's got, especially now that it's out, right? That it's done, it's finished. Because I think the biggest issue that everyone has with Attack on Titan that they still love the show, whether they want to say now that they don't. They were here from the jump. They still love the show. It's my number 5 anime of all time. Wavering, but I got some other stuff fighting for it. But
Number 5.
number 5.
We got to go back and readdress top tens.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably dropped down, but as before I reevaluate, it's not my number 5. The story is just crazy, bro, and I think if we don't have the money grab aspect of it, where they're just like, okay, well, let's drop this at the last minute. Let's just drop this. Okay, let's take 2 years and wait, and then now drop this final season, episode 2, part 3, finale, this, that, the third, like. If they didn't do all that, this show, like all the hate that this show is getting, even with people disagreeing with the ending, honestly, part of them disagree with the ending probably is the fact that they had to wait so long for it. And if they had gotten it sooner in a more consecutive form or continuous matter, I don't think it'd have gotten as much hate as it did get. I think that was a big piece of it.
I agree. Between that and we just don't want anime to end.
And we just don't want anime to end. Like, you know, characters, plot, story, world building. Not necessarily world build, but like, I guess world building.
No, world building was crazy.
Yeah, world building
because
was crazy from the jump to the
4
end.
years, we just thought it was one thing.
But yeah. So I try not to say too much. Not that you did, but I'm just trying to say too much. But because again, for my boys, hopefully Gibby and Chance decide to watch this. They bet. Oh, y'all boys better watch this right now. I swear. We made this whole video is for you. This video is for y'all too.
Absolutely.
So and for others, but for y'all too specifically. And if y'all don't watch this, we gonna have some words.
Say their names again.
Chance Campbell, Jack Gibbons.
Absolutely.
Chancellor, Professor Gibby. But yeah, there's no aspect to the show that's not done well. I won't say none. There's very few things that people can nitpick other than, and again, the biggest thing they're going to nitpick is how long it took for it all to come out. And then the ending.
Yeah.
But that's because of how long it took to come out. So
I mean, we could talk about season 2 was like kind of a slow burn.
Yeah, but that's because of how.
Story, though.
Yeah, that's because episode 1 of season 1 just was like boom. And
But
so we just kept getting boom, 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 boom. But like you said, yes, I don't disagree that season 2 wasn't slower or slow. I'll say slow.
The story a lot. We needed to know things.
Exactly. There was hope. We got all this action and all this suspense, but we didn't get as much information until season 2. Season two was like, we got to add this in there so everything afterwards that you guys want to see and be excited about makes sense.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan got 5 votes. It was one of the 3 that I would have recommended, personally.
Absolutely.
All right, next one. We got Death Note with 7 votes, the second highest recommended show. You know what's crazy about Death Note to me, man? I've seen it. I've watched all Death Note, so before someone starts
it
thinking,
used to be a regular watch for me every year.
I thoroughly enjoyed Death Note. I know we talk about once a certain specific person was no longer and things kind of changed, that the story and the show kind of fell off. I still enjoyed it afterwards. But for me, I know people have it goated and it's up there. I really enjoy the show. People have it way higher than I would have it.
Wow.
I don't know what it is about it. I think obviously the Death Note itself is a great I guess power system. I think Lelouch for the most part is a good character. I don't have I forgot what show we were talking about with our 2023 rankings, but like it's not that I dislike a lot about it. It's just that like it's good for me. It's not quality mid. It's definitely above quality mid. So I'm not saying that. It's definitely above quality mid, but I feel like there are people who have it as top echelon, cream of the crop. And I'm like, yeah, it's really good show, but I'm not like, oh, bro, you gotta watch Death Note. Death Note is just like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, I'm not there with that. So, do I agree that it'd be a good recommendation because there's a lot that goes into it? I think it's a good story. I think the plot twists are great. The intelligence aspect of it, the mental aspect of it is good. I would recommend it. I just personally, as a show in general, I know that's not what we're talking about, but for whatever reason, I had to say it. Death Note is good. it's not phenomenal for me. There you go. Go ahead, Pete, because you got some words to say clearly.
Would you recommend it?
It wasn't in my three. It's not. It's not. It's not in my top three that I recommend. I would. It'd be like in my top 10 to recommend. Sure, yeah, but like, it's not in my top three to recommend. No,
Okay.
no.
So for me, for the longest, and even now, like it edges in my top 10 every now and again. Backstory: Death Note was my first thriller suspense anime.
So that's why Pete loves it.
And again, if you know me, you know I love some thriller and suspense. Like, and
You
so
let us know that already.
Death Note was like my first like. And when I tell you, first of all, nobody, and I got this from KevOnStage again. Nobody writes a pilot like anime. Like they will grab. Like now, the rest of the episodes of the season can be crap, but
No
that
one. No. Hold on. Hold
first
on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
episode.
No one writes a pilot like what? Like anime?
Like anime
Like
pilots.
oh, anime pilots. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were specifically talking about Death Note pilots, but anime pilots in
No,
general.
no,
Okay.
just anime pilots in general. Like that first
Got you.
episode is going to be crispy gold. Now the rest you might be like, ugh. But like that first episode is going to be crispy. And for me, Death Note, bruh, crispy. Not only that, we get like a storyline that is like pretty daggone good. We get two geniuses that get to battle it out. It's almost like a Tom and Jerry cat and mouse. Like you think you got me, but I got you. You think you got me, but I got you.
Yeah.
Now again, that first season is a straight up 10 out of 10. Like I would recommend that to my great grandmother who is sleeping in her grave right now. Like I would recommend
Why we have to go back so far though?
because she would enjoy this. Is all I'm saying. Like I feel like, and I'm not even talking about like the second episode, which I enjoyed. I know other people didn't. But that first season, 100%, I would recommend that to anybody. We're talking about like SWV, Law and Order, like we're talking about Miami, like we're talking about like everything that like people like to watch when it comes to police and cop and crime
Yeah.
shows. That is a 100% recommendation. If just
Yeah.
not off of the second season, that first season alone, I would recommend that to anyone.
How to get away with murder?
Abs, bruh, and
Literally,
How to Get Away with Murder was
this is
my
literally how to get away with
like that
murder.
legit, and we knew that when How to Get Away with Murder that first season ratings were like number one for like solid weeks. Like if people like that type of stuff, and again, Law and Order SUV or Criminal Intent, if people like shows like that,
Man, taking me back.
yeah, yeah, Death Note is something 100% that we would like. I would recommend we would be watching.
Yeah, for sure. Is that would that make your three then?
Man, I have three. Let me tell you something.
Is I'm saying is that in your three?
That's hard because I just argued so hard for
That's something like is that in your three?
Death Note might be in my three, man. Just if I'm looking at it just from other people's perspective and trying to get them into something that they've never watched before.
Yeah.
I mean, again, KevOnStage is legit like I don't want to say the guinea pig, but
Yeah. No, he's touched it again. Like I said, he went from
bruh.
Attack on Titan to Death Note to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood to One Piece. Like he touched greatness from the jump.
Which let's talk about the second one you named. Go ahead, Joe, because that is absolutely. Go ahead.
Are you about to hate on this being in there?
I'm not going to hate on it at all. It's in my top five, Joe. How could I hate on it?
I'm just about it being in the recommendation, the number one
Oh,
recommendation.
absolutely. Now that I would hate on. There are too many other good anime to. Go ahead, Joe.
The number one recommended anime
Crazy.
with 10 votes.
Crazy.
Again, the next highest was Death Note with 7. 7. So there's I mean, obviously we had a small sample size. We didn't have thousands of people, hundreds of people respond because y'all fools wasn't responding. And the Instagram algorithm don't like getting more people to our stories, but that's everybody.
They be tripping.
Full Alchemist Brotherhood was the number one rated, number one recommended, number one suggested show that people would recommend. And it's one that I would recommend. So make it 11. Don't make it 11 instead of 10. So,
That's in your top three that you recommend?
that's in my top 3 that I would recommend. Yes.
Wow. Can you
Yes.
explain?
Absolutely. It means it's my number one anime of all time. Literally is
I
my
mean, I
favorite.
get that, but Yu Yu Hakusho is my number one of all time, and I would not recommend it. So you got to come a little bit stronger than that.
Bro, name one flaw in Full Metal Brotherhood. Name a flaw. Never mind.
Again,
Don't do that because you about to pull some nonsense out your butt.
I'm not. I'm
My
not.
opinion.
Honestly, I'm not. If
Go
I'm
ahead.
just thinking about relatability, like I don't think Full Metal Alchemist is relatable to some of the other ones that we've talked about, aka a Death Note. I don't see Full Metal Alchemist being more relatable than Death Note. I don't.
Loss of a loved one, dealing with how to build life back up after dealing with the loss,
Yeah,
or
but yeah, yeah.
does
No,
that
no,
have to
no, no,
even
no,
be?
no, no, no. You're talking about a broad story. I am talking about like we're talking about alchemy. I don't feel like alchemy
Okay,
is something
alchemy is
that
just
people
part
would
of the
grasp.
story.
But it is
Alchemy
a
is not the
huge.
story.
But it is
Is there
it is
is
legit
there
the
a book
backbone
that
of the story,
you got a book that can kill people because you wrote their name down in it? That's relatable.
bruh. Yes, because if we want to start and we want to get to people's Christianity and we want to go to the Lamb's Book of Life and we want to go through like all of that things,
I'm saying,
that is far
do
more
you
relatable.
do you have a book that you could be like blah, 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 that you can relate to?
No, but when we're
Okay,
talking
then
about
then I th-
when we're talking about a serial killer,
are you a serial killer? What's the
no, but
percentage
what
of
I'm
serial
saying,
killers in the
how
world?
many serial killers have we had since? Like, let's be for real.
Are we
I also
trying to
watch
relate to
other
serial killers around
podcasts.
here?
I am not trying to relate to anybody, but what I am trying to
Uh-uh.
say that serial killers are it's more relatable than alchemy. I also watch CSI podcasts. So like so we
Bruh,
have but
the
what I'm
amount of
saying is that
serial
like
killers in the world.
it's a lot.
But are we trying to relate to serial killers? Is that what we're
It's
relating
not
to?
the fact that we're trying to relate to serial killers, but if we're relating real life, like serial killers is something that we have to deal with in the real
Okay,
world.
okay.
Alchemy, not
Okay,
necessarily.
but you see, alchemy and Death Note would be equate. Serial killers and dealing with life and rebuilding your life from trauma, from traumatic experience
Yeah,
would
but
equate.
you
So
tried,
no,
you
you're mixing them up. You're crossing and
no,
not going
no,
parallel.
you tried, no. You tried to like put two power systems against each other with
Right.
alchemy
You
and
did. Because
bro.
you said we can't relate to alchemy. Alchemy being the power system. I'm not saying relating to alchemy. We can't relate to Dragon Ball. We can't relate to any power system. We ain't got no power systems. Except for
I mean, Death Note is definitely like
there is no Death Note, P.
there's not a Death Note, but I also like seeing people write people's names in people's books and take them out.
Okay.
Death Note.
And alchemy is a legitimate thing. I just can't clap my hands and do it.
But
Alchemy is real.
I've seen people write names in the book and
And there
take
are
them out.
witches in the world that cast spells. And so here we go. So, therefore, leave
Well,
alchemy
but
alone.
we ain't talking about witches.
Okay. Anyway, back to why Full Alchemist Brotherhood is the top recommended show, bro. There is not like. You'd be hard pressed to find a flaw. You'd have to dig, bro. You'd really have to dig. I'm not saying it's perfect. So I'm saying like a tragic flaw. The story is impeccable. I'm about to use all kinds of words, P. So shoot at me whenever you're ready.
I'm gonna let you go.
The power system, I love alchemy. I love alchemy. I love the depth that it ends up going to with
Hey.
the truth and all that stuff that has to go to the taboo-ness of it, the philosopher's stone, and all of that goes into it. Bro, what power system? Great. Character building,
Never said
character
it wasn't.
development, character development's great. The relationships between the characters, great. The bro, the setting and the world building, great. and then the uniqueness of each different place and how that all ties in with each this power system. There's multiple power systems in the same power system that connect and makes, bro, what? And then how we start in this tiny little spot and then we realize, oh snap, this whole, bro, you can't tell me this not a great story. You can't tell me that this isn't something that would grab someone's attention and just be like, huh, bro, what? I know I ain't said a ton.
I
I'm
did
spitting
not
right now.
say it was not a great story. I never
And I'm
said
off
that.
my TED talk. I'm taking your saying, and there's my TED talk. It wasn't much, but it was a TED talk.
I'm not
Come
saying
on,
that
bro.
it's not a great story. I never said that. I feel like I'm talking like Cat Williams. I never said that. I've never said that it was not a great story. What I am looking for when it comes to somebody who has never watched anime is it
Keep
relatable?
going. Keep going. Keep going.
And I just don't find Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood to be as relatable. I never said it wasn't relatable. I don't find it to be as relatable as some of the other anime that we mentioned. That's it. Yes, is it relatable? Yes. Is it as relatable as some of the ones that we mentioned? Absolutely. I get it. I get it. I get it. I understand.
Transmute my mic, Edward. Transmute it. Light
I
that thing on
also
fire.
understand him.
Light that thing. Get that garbage out of here. That don't compare to these two right here.
Garbage is
Don't
crazy.
even, bro. Don't even do that. This man right here, Roy, Flame Alchemist Roy, man, come on now.
Again, we're talking. Again, I'm just talking about. It's in my top five.
What we talking?
It's in my top five, but I just feel like there are other relatable anime, especially if we're talking about somebody who has never watched anime in their lives. I feel like there's something. I feel like it's other anime that are more relatable, and I feel like Death Note is more relatable.
That's fine. You can have Death Note on the list. There are people who had both Death Note and Full Metal Brother on the list. Why can't you have both?
I wouldn't put Full Metal Alchemist on. Like I just wouldn't. Hey, he's okay. Ooh. But that's just
All right.
me.
I've given two of mine so far based on this list: Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood
Have I given two of mine?
and Attack on Titan. I don't know. You haven't officially stated what's on your list. So, with that being said, since you haven't stated any and I've stated two, I need you to give us your list. What would you recommend, P?
So in no particular order, I do have Death Note up there.
Okay, so Death Note made the three. So then you did give us one then.
I do have Death Note up there. And this is just my
Now we
preference.
throwing that in there? No, you just said you wasn't gonna do that. You just said you wasn't gonna do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Um,
Don't do that. Don't do
so
that.
there are a couple of things that people can always identify with. Again, it's music. Yes or no?
There you go. Go ahead. Talk about it.
And so for your lie in April, I feel like we can also like there's a couple of things that people deal with. There's the fact of music, there's the fact of death that is looming for a loved one that like there's nothing you can do to save them, but like eventually they will go.
Alchemist
Regardless
Brotherhood. We tried to bring
regardless
somebody back to life.
yeah,
We
I ain't
couldn't.
never tried
We,
I ain't never
we
tried to
couldn't.
dig
We
I ain't never
couldn't
tried to
accept. We couldn't accept death. We tried to bring somebody back to life. Come on, bruh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've never tried to dig my grandmother up, put her on an altar, and try to bring her back. That's witchcraft.
Well, clearly you didn't
So
care. Oh no, but we're not talking about witches. We're not talking about
clearly
witches. That's what you said.
clearly
We're
I
not talking
didn't
about
care.
witches.
Did you say clearly I didn't
Clearly you
care?
didn't care enough. You ain't love your great grandma enough, or grandma, or whoever.
That is hilarious. So with Full Metal Alchemist, look at me, you
Yeah,
got me
because it's like
talking.
that.
So with your line, Abel, there's like music. There's the fact that death is looming for your loved one, and there's nothing that you can do to save them. But there's also like you and what one, like you're dealing with your own things, number one, about how you can better yourself or how you're like just dealing with trauma. You also have to deal with the trauma of losing a loved one. And it brings that all together in music. Yeah, that's like my life. Like You're Alive in April? Absolutely. It's in there for me.
Okay. So you got two. So you got Death Note and Your Lie. What's the last one?
You tell me your last one because I am
Oh
trying.
my gosh. My last one did not make the list. Well, other than my vote. But it is a phenomenal show. And I think, and to preface this, and I kind of wanted to say this before too, but we kind of talked about length of show before. And in my personal opinion, I think like a 12 to 12 plus to like when I made proposed the question to folks, I said 15 to 75 episode was a range, and then 75 plus was another range, and then 15 less was a range.
Yeah.
Most of the people voted that 15 to 75 was the ideal range, and the second range after that was no more than 15.
Right.
Obviously, 75 plus didn't really make it. My one caveat to, I guess honestly, to all ranges, right? By one thing to all ranges is there's shows that obviously have one season. They're one hit, not necessarily one hit wonders, but they hit and then they're done. There are shows that then hit and then keep going and then keep hitting, or they don't hit, whatever. I guess I kind of mentioned it with SAO, right? Like, I think the first season plays a very big part, right? Like I don't have a problem recommending an SAO, because even though the rest of it wasn't all what it was cracked up to be or didn't really fulfill what the first season did, the first season hit. Like, it just did. And
The
so
first
I
season
could,
hit. I'm not even finna sit here
yeah,
and lie. Like the first season hit,
yeah.
or the
So
first half of that
the
season, because
first
there were
half of
two
the first,
parts
yeah,
to
yeah,
that season. But
before,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
before the
the first
elves
season,
and
yeah,
things.
the
But
first
yeah,
season, really, first season, part one, hit. And so I don't have a problem recommending that. Promise Neverland, the first season hit. I don't have a
right.
problem recommending first Promise Neverland.
So close to putting that.
Yeah, SAO. I don't know how many episodes it officially has now. Now that we're at Alicization, I even know there's another anime movie coming out. They got
Really?
they got yeah. I saw it a couple of days ago. I'm like, they're making another one. So they got multiple movies. They got like 5 or 6 seasons. I'm I I feel comfortable recommending a show that has a fire first season and then letting whatever happens after that happen, because I feel like as long as that first season hit, that counts as a win in this
Then
category.
don't do that to me because the Promised Neverland is like sitting right at the tip of my tongue.
So with that being said, and it seems like Preston kind of agrees with me in that sense. I don't know. I'm assuming you agree with me like that. You would recommend a show based off of first season?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Because
So with
then
us,
I got people who will read, and I was like, bruh, watch that,
yeah,
read.
yeah. And so I guess with that, and I don't know how many episodes it eventually has. I'm sure it's past 75. But my last one, and again, these were in no particular order, is Bungo Stray Dogs.
You did
The
say Bongo.
I did say Bungo.
You did say Bongo.
I said Bungo, and it's just Bungo is for sure a stretch. And not that this really plays a factor in it, but I do like this now that I'm thinking about it. Is the Bungo is mainstream, but it's not mainstream. Not everyone knows about Bungo. A good amount of people do, but not everybody knows about Bungo. And even a lot of people that do know about Bungo haven't watched Bungo, or even close to half of Bungo. Bungo has a significant amount of episodes. I'm pretty sure it would fall into that 75 plus category. Based on now, it's got 5 seasons, and I know at least one or two of those seasons had 20 plus episodes. So I'm pretty sure it's past that 75 mark. But the show, this is one where the first season hits, and then every season just continues to hit. So I
Since
know
the
that
last
once
season.
I get you hooked on that first season, I got you hooked on a plus one. It's different than a One Piece, to where like it's a slow build. It has its peak. I don't know how to see. It's a slow build. It has its peaks, kind of comes back down. Has its peaks, comes back down. Bungo is just a steady climb. For Preston, there was a plateau. There
I
was a
don't think there's a
plateau.
plateau. No, for me, it wasn't a
Well,
plateau. It's just them
oh,
last
season,
like couple of episodes. That's
yeah,
it.
season five kind
Yeah,
of fell
season five
flat for
kind of.
P, or maybe even went down. But for the most part, for a majority of the show, Bungo Stray Dogs is a straight incline from the
Oh, up
characters.
to season four, like it's just like
Season four
uphill.
kind of like shoots up
Yeah,
straight
it's
up,
like
honestly.
uphill all day long.
But from the character development, which I honestly, with the main character, I felt lacking a little bit. With the main character and his rival, his main antagonist, I feel there was a little bit missing in that development. They still got some, but I feel like there was a little bit missing. But however, whatever, it's not perfect. Character development, the I don't want to say world building, but I kind of throw it in world building because there are new characters introduced from other places. Though we don't go to those places, they come from there and then get introduced and become integral parts of the story. The intricacy of the story, how what we learned something in episode season one and don't figure out what's going on till season four, but it ties it in so well that I had no issues with that. The amount of backstory we get for all these characters, the way they write these characters, there's not one character that I don't like. There's not a character that you get a lot of information for and has a decent amount of screen time that you don't enjoy. I don't there's and the power system in my opinion is very unique.
It
It's
is.
very unique. There are some you know, some common powers in there, but it's not. But the whole power system itself is unique.
Oh, as them seasons get up, some of them power systems are. I mean, some of those powers are like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm a fan, and that's why I even said one. P asked me about it, but I talked about Attack on Titan kind of being five, but may not be five. Bungo is up there for your boy.
I'm
Is
not mad
up
at
there.
Bungo. I'm not mad at Bungo.
Bungo is my other pick.
So I'm not mad at
Promise
Bungo.
Neverland.
Yeah, so I honestly let me let me go ahead and like it's gonna be Promised Neverland season one. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna sit here and lie to you. I was gonna put Parasite the Maximum, which again like wonderful anime. Like if we're talking like ethics and morality and what's right and what's wrong and how you should move, absolutely Parasite. But if you want thrill and suspense, bruh,
Back to the thriller and suspense.
opening scene, we get kids playing, but there are barcodes on their neck.
Is it barcodes or numbers?
Barcodes
Numbers.
and numbers.
Is there barcodes
They
too?
have barcodes as well. Sold. Because for the first 15 minutes, they are selling you a lie of everything is great, but they let you know from like the first 30 seconds of the opening that these kids got barcodes and numbers on their neck.
Sound good. Shit seems
Sounds
sweet.
good, but you know some crazy stuff is about to happen. And no, and I'm always talking about relatability. There is nothing like relatable. Like I don't want to give away too much,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
God, I can't even say it. I can't. But
The
you
the
you
ending of episode one,
you
crazy.
come
If
honestly,
you not
episode one is my top five episodes in anime of all time. All
I
time.
had to think about it, but I probably wouldn't disagree with you.
Bruh. And again, they play on you so much to feel like everything is fine and these kids are smart and
Which
we
they are,
get it
and sweet and
make
fun, adorable.
sweet and fun and smart and all of the personality wise and then you get to the last like 7 minutes of episode one
And it's just like,
and it's like what?
huh?
And from episode 2 on through episode 12 of season
Season
1
one. Season one.
is like this and I can't even be upset because if you don't read it, then you might think season 2 is absolutely great. I don't know. We can't
No,
say that
no,
because we've
no. We
read.
can because based on what I heard, they skipped. Not only did they skip
No,
what
no,
happens
no.
between
They
no, not
skipped.
only did they skip what happens between season 1 to season 2. The way they tried to tie it together doesn't make sense.
See, I haven't watched season two,
It
but we're
doesn't
not
make
talking about
sense.
that. We're not. No, no, we're not talking about that. We're
I'm
talking
not
about season
spoiling
one.
nothing. It just doesn't make sense.
No, we
So
just not. No, no,
yeah, listen.
don't deter them. We talk about
No,
season one.
season 1. Watch season 1 and then
Let
pick
me
up the manga.
let me tell you something. If I
Do what
had to
Brandon told you to do.
judge,
Pick up the manga.
if I had to judge, like all anime, and I'm not even like making this up, and they told me that season one of The Promised Neverland is something I could put in my top 10, then season one is a easy top 5 for me. Like easy. I could move. Sorry, Renegades. JoJo's might have to get on up out the way.
Listen, that peace.
Cause when
Hey,
I tell
Super
you,
6 is still good.
when I tell you like that first, and again, and I had made like a video a long time ago, but season one of The Promised Neverland is so freaking perfect. Like we get characters introduced, we get things that we never knew about, we get y'all don't even know about Isabella. Like there is just
The
like
connections
things
between characters.
like we just get so much rolled out. But honestly, that first episode grabs you. Like
Yeah. Like you said before, the pilot episode, anime be different.
different. It grabs you off rip. Like you can tell like these kids are playing in bar, but there's bars around and these kids have absolutely no idea what's going on. They just think watch The Promised Neverland season 1. I would probably put that. No, I'm not even lying. I put that over Death Note like season 1. Like it is like
I agree.
it
I
is
mean, now mind
so
you, I said all that what I said
good.
about Death Note, but I
And I
agree.
enjoyed Death
Promise
Note, but
Neverland, yeah,
like
Promise
Promised
Neverland for sure
Neverland,
goes
that season 1
for
was
sure goes over. No
bro,
question about that.
bro.
I don't think many people. I mean, maybe there would be, but I don't think many people who have witnessed both would disagree with that.
Yeah,
Maybe they would,
those
but
are my 3.
okay. So you had Promise Neverland, Death
Yep,
Note, and
and
Your
Your
Lie in
Lie in
April.
April. Yep.
And mine was not Yu Yu. Sorry, love Yu Yu. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Bungo Stray Dogs, and Attack on Titan. Cool. There was one point that I forgot to mention earlier, which is kind of it is what it is. But let me. I'm curious your thoughts on this. Something to avoid for all those recommending shows to their friends. Something to avoid, not entirely, but that's overly fleshed out in shows is one, a major reliance and focus on the power of friendship, and two, the overly obnoxious and loud MC. For non-anime watchers,
Okay.
anime for non-anime watchers. Anime is already a very dramatic and over the top genre, not genre, art form, right? Because there's genres within anime. So art form. It is a very over the top and dramatic art form. Not regular shows aren't like that. Not to kind of dive into this, but we talked about the One Piece live action, right? Like part of the reason I think Luffy's character was good but not great is because Luffy is that over the top character, and it's hard to do that with flesh and blood. You know what I'm saying? With real people. And in anime, for us anime watchers, it makes sense. It's part of the culture, it's part of the art form, and it works very well in it. It doesn't do that well with non-anime. So thinking of people who don't typically watch anime, we have to take that into consideration. The power of friendship being a scapegoat and a solution for a lot of problems that anime characters face can kind of be too much, in my opinion, I think, for non-anime watchers. Once you kind of get into the culture and understand, like, that's just kind of how it is. That's the plot armor that a lot of characters have, a lot of shows have. You, like, get used to it, and you enjoy it. Fairy Tail, you enjoy it. You don't like Fairy Tail, but for those that
Well,
love
let's see
Fairy
who
Tail,
enjoyed Fairy Tale
Naruto with Talk No
besides
Jutsu, all that stuff. Like, it's part of the culture, and it is what it is, and we accept it and we love it. Again, P with his Fairy Tail. And Fairy Tail's all right for me. But I think that's something that and I forgot who else I was talking to about this or mentioned it. I think that those are two things that need to be not completely erased from what you recommend, but as avoided as much as possible. I don't know what
I
you
was
think,
just
P.
talking to like a couple of people, and just actually like the overall like just emotions of anime in general. Like KevOnStage was so KevOnStage has
This boy
a
is so excited
bruh.
about Kevo
Because
stage,
when I
man.
tell you, like, I've been, first of all, I've been like following KevOnStage since Playmakers, and like, so ever since then, and now like he has his podcast with that chick Angel, and so he was trying to explain like Attack on Titan um to
Angel.
Angel, and Angel was like, so is it like all of that? Oh, for me.
The
And
overly
Kevo's,
high pitched
yeah,
sexualized
and
voices of
and Kev on
females
stage
or
was
women
like,
in
but not
anime.
even just that, but just like even the guys were like, oh no 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 no, like all of that stuff, and Kev on stage was like, it's that, and Angel was like, I'm out,
Yeah, well,
like
well, you can't
I'm
recommend One
good.
Piece to her then. We got to give her the Full Metal Brotherhood.
But it's not
We got to
even
give her
that.
the
But
Death
like you,
Note,
no, you have
the
to give
Attack
her
on Titan.
something. So no, because even with that, I eat a chip episode, way over the top for her.
Which show? Which Death Note?
For Death Note, when he's like writing in the book, and I'll eat a chip, and or I bite it out, like whatever, like that
I don't
whole
remember that one.
scene. Oh, bro, there were memes off that. But like you have to give her, if she's going to be like do anime, you have to give her something so melatonin, but still
Exactly.
something that's going to be like interesting.
Something very serious in a sense. Like not
Absolutely.
overall serious, but serious in a sense of anime and avoiding all the stuff that we talked about.
Right. So yeah, those types of things like I would avoid.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. P, we did it, bro.
Bro, first episode.
We
In the
have
books.
again cracked back into Life with Anime podcast. We are officially back. Appreciate all of you that have stuck around with us during our hiatus, that have followed us on Instagram and TikTok. Again, that's Life with Anime Podcast, literally at Life with Anime Podcast on both of those. I will, again, another call to action. We don't like doing this, but we studies
Who says we
show.
don't like to do this? We
I
do
mean,
like to do
I don't
this.
like doing it, but studies show that
Whatever, you're gonna
we
love
ask y'all
us.
to do it. Hopefully, y'all love us enough, Mama. Do this. But if you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video, leave a nice comment. We are working on commenting, responding to every single comment on all platforms. So
Oh
we want to be
yes.
more engaged with our community. We want to we want to be involved with everybody. So you comment. We
We doing
appreciate you
that.
guys.
Yeah.
Even if you got some hate, listen. If you are one of the people that have hated or left a mean comment on Instagram, I will respond to you. I respond every time.
By the
I will
way, because
respond
Joe did
every time
respond to somebody, I like we did a
with
collaboration,
with
and
respect.
somebody like legit said like, "I hope this ain't another One Piece page," and I was like, "What?"
I listen. I mean, that wasn't even bad, but like
Oh,
you
there has
can
been worse.
that have been bad, and I will respond to those with respect and dignity. I will not shoot at you. I will not shoot back. I will not shoot back. But
I will shoot back.
we want to engage with everybody. Long story short, we want to engage with everybody. So please comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, set the notification bell to all notifications. If you're listening on Apple Music, Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, RSS feed, whatever you're listening to, please give us a nice little 5-star rating. We would greatly appreciate that. And leave us a comment as well. Let us know how well we did or how much we suck or what you disagree with. Please, I want to know what people don't agree with us. I want to know, especially what y'all don't agree with Preston, because I know it's a lot.
I just
I
feel
don't think
like
today was that crazy.
everything that I said today was gold.
Yeah,
Like
no.
that,
Today
y'all not
I
gonna
think he was
get
good.
this of
Yeah,
me often.
today was good, except for the whole Naruto thing. Naruto
Oh
Demon
no,
Slayer
that's
it might be.
absolutely gold though. That's gold.
Well, I guess we'll see. Let us know, folks. But yeah, man, really appreciate y'all sticking around. Season 2 is officially here. More guests, more freaking episodes, more content. We here. P, you got anything?
Oh no, that's all.
All right. Episode 1 in the books. See y'all next week. Peace.
Yes.